Yo, I'm Vinith. I recently took a course called creative writing in my college, and तो उसके बारे में एज एन असाइनमेंट मैंने एक स्टोरी लिखी थी एंड हम recently been very obsessed with it. So I thought I'll just read it out here and post it on the internet. I know the camera quality is a little shit at the moment, but we're going to have to make do until I earn enough money to buy a good camera. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So the story's name is How Spirits Die. Yo, I'm Yuri. Why I have a Slavic name is a story for another day. But for now, understand this. I am a spirit, infernal and divine. My gaze bestows both kindness and crime. So it is said, I act and all like wine. Just kidding. That was my ex. We won't talk about her. We were spirits of a different nature. Unlike Caesar, we were without ambition. We had the whole wide world before us, but we were crazed in the same way, took an uncanny interest in trains and railway stations. So we, who were in love, made Bolarum railway station our world and spent long years just existing in each other and observing trains and people. Oh, and did I mention when spirits fall in love, our bodies, what you humans call bodies, we of course do not have a physical body. Our bodies become one. It's like our bodies cradle each other. Anyways, she's left me now. She said I lacked vision. She now inhabits the much larger Secunderabad railway station. I hear it has 10 platforms. What's more is that it has 3 bridges and I think 7 escalators. Well, good for her. Not to say that our Bolaram railway station is anything insufficient, of course. Agreed, it only has 2 platforms and no escalator, but it has a lift. And a lift, my dear friend, serves the exact same function as an escalator. I think. I don't know. Never needed to use either. But like I said, we will not talk about her. For if we do, I will get sad. And when spirits get sad, humans get scared. Let's talk about my dominion. Situated in the middle of a jungle of cuboidal, colorful, 1 and 2 story houses, is the Bolaram railway station. Not a fancy location, but a good life and good people. These people, these people, you see, they are never in a rush. I like that. They come, wait patiently for their trains, and when their metal chariots arrive, they board them without a hassle. Well, all except usually the ones who board the general class. A little physical exertion might be seen on there on most occasions. There is a little ticketing office that doubles as a waiting area, and a few other administrative offices on the station. Oh, and importantly, a bathroom also exists. It's of no importance to me, of course. I never defecate. But I fear the ammonic smells and sights that we might be exposed to had it not been there. I've been around for a while and I've come to the conclusion that man believes there is not a thing, nor a patch of land on our good earth that couldn't be benefited from a little bit of ammonia. But of course, they can't be helped. They created made them so that they needed to defecate. Thankfully, my creator hadn't the access to such integrate mental faculties that he could indulge me in such complex biological processes. So he settled by giving me a simple body, very reminiscent of light and airy smoke. I'm talking about the author, of course. In fact, he thought it so difficult to give me anything remotely individual that even my own thoughts are not my own. Which is why you will see throughout this episode, as I am sure you already have, I have difficulty maintaining a single train of thought. Pun intended. Today, I'm watching the station from above, about a few meters above the cable lines that power the trains. It is a hot day today, though, where usually you could see people just strolling about. Now there are none. All had found shelter under anything that could provide shade. You know, in the evenings here, a fair amount of locals also come to the station to just sit around and chat, or for evening walks. It's kind of suspicious, really, but what do I care? To each their own. I hear the classic horn of a train and the rhythmic sound of metal wheels turning on iron rails. The train slows down and then finally stops on platform 2, the one opposite to platform 1, which houses the offices. Footsteps are heard, sounds of luggage being moved can be heard, and from either ends of the train, some commotion as well. Finally, a minute later, the horn blows and the train is on the move again. There, that's how it is here. No train stops for longer than 1 minute, and that 1 minute is somehow usually enough for passengers to get off and board the train. I decided to descend down and take a look at the people. Platform 1 was mostly empty, and a couple of people here and there. Boring, really. On platform 2, though, a few people could be seen. All the people here, without exception, were at least a little bit sweaty and had their clothes sticking to their bodies in at least a few places. A few women in colorful saris sitting on the ground. They had before them bamboo baskets, bamboo straw baskets full of guavas arranged in the basket on a bed of leaves. And on one of the sitting areas created around the columns that support the massive blue V shaped roof that provides shade to the platform, a man was eating biryani. His big black dusty bag served as his backrest, and his plate rested on the granite top. He piqued my curiosity. Upon closer inspection, it was clear that it was egg biryani that he was eating on a pepper plate. It smelled greasy, spicy, and one might say delicious. He finished a few minutes later, wiped the sweat off his forehead with the sleeve of his dirty hand, and, as is customary, folded the paper plate and threw it on the platform. His used fingers were licked, and then his entire body was shifted and settled into a comfortable beanbag like posture. I regret having my curiosity piqued by the egg biryani. Then the low sound of a woman sobbing reached my ears. I immediately looked up and started scanning the platform for the source of those sobs. Tears. Tears are precious, you see. They are proof that something touched your heart, that you have a heart. Perhaps even proof that you are alive. I did not need to look far. A little ahead of where I was floating, on a metal bench that was painted white, sat a young woman whose head was being cradled by a young man. Both their foreheads were covered in sweat. One of his hands reached over and around her shoulder, and the other held her face to his chest. I floated closer. It turns out that the lady's grandmother had passed away. They were here to catch the next train that would take them to the lady's city. And the man held her, and she let herself be held by him. Not a tear fell down on the dirty earth. They all landed and soaked his shirt in a damp puddle near his heart. The thumb on the hand that was on her cheek kept stroking it lightly and slowly. The sobs were slow. The woman was tired. She had perhaps cried her heart out vehemently just a while ago. Well, what a day. To trust and to be trusted. That's something, isn't it? Well, let's look for something else. I looked around, and the brilliant sunlight now ceased to be so brilliant. The air that was stagnant just a while ago now picked up movement. I move around now, and a snack cart catches my eye. A box on wheels. The box emanated an aroma of kachoris and samosas from it, and packets of chips and other snacks were hanging above it, supported by some contraption of rods. Lol. I think the lady would like the chips, but I'm a spirit. I cannot interact with the world. Also, it would be creepy. I don't know her. But who knows? It might be appreciated as well. No, no. That's quite impossible. Impossible, of course. I looked at the ground ahead. A few tiny yellow sunflower like flowers shot upwards tenderly from the space between the tiles. To my right, beyond the boundary wall of the station, the trees and green shrubs rustled in the now strong wind. I looked to my left towards the rails, and then my eyes, again, I don't have eyes, but my eyes move up. On a now grey background, sitting on the power cables, I see birds, a pair of them. They were teasing each other by flying once to one side of the bird, then the other, only for the other bird to do the same. They were chirping, short and bright chirps all along. Damn it, damn it. Oh, my darling, oh, my love, how I yearn for you. I look at the platform ahead. I see a young girl of not more than 8 playing with what seemed to be her brother. Once, the kid started moving a tad bit too close to the edge of the platform, and the girl immediately pulled him back. Stupid kid. Does not even know how to keep himself alive. I don't have that problem, of course. I've kept myself alive all this time. I've kept myself alive. Yes. Why trouble anyone else with what should be your concern? The sky has gotten rather dark grey, with dark grey clouds now also hovering over the station. A loud thunder was heard in the distance. I see friends laughing together and couples sitting together. Young people helping the elderly to move and carry luggage. Why? For what? Why waste your time? Don't they know that they came into this world alone and that they will die alone? Human stupidity, man. Why do that when even an immortal spirit like me understands that nothing is permanent? You are all you have and all you shall ever have. What the hell? What the hell? What am I saying? See what your absence is doing to me, my eternal love. They love and expose their hearts to each other, and I hate them for it. It has started to rain now, and as the rain hits the scorched surface of the platform, a cool and pleasant smell of petrichor fills the air. The sky is dark, so too is the world around me. The wind blows through every open space, and the path of the rain is heavily influenced by the wind's whims. But I have a heart too, my love. Alas, it is a useless entity. It is filled with love. Alas, I cannot show it. I cannot show it as because of who I am. What use is my flight if I cannot catch a balloon that has left a child's hand and return it to him? What use is my worry if I can't show it to the subject of my worry and say something with the hope of putting them at ease? What use is my love if no one can accept it? What worth does a full heart hold if it never touches another? The sky flickered a bright yellow, and a second later, a loud thunder was heard. The rain is picking up pace. There was a heart once that I could touch. It was yours, my sunshine, my sweet bubble made of the purest and warmest of winds. It was with you that I discovered what it was like to open myself up to a kinder touch and to lead with a kinder touch. It was with you that I felt what it was like to be not alone. And now I am alone. This cruel world does not ever even think of me, my love. They look right past me. They ignore me when I try to talk to them. I can't live like this any longer, my dear, my precious. I want to talk to everyone. I want to shout, look at me. I want to help them, laugh with them, and to be seen. I want them to just, even for a moment, smile at me. But they won't. I want to show them love, but I can't because of who I am. For I only exist when you think of me. Please think of me. The end is near, my dear. I do not know how long the light in me will last. I can already feel it dimming. Forgive me for asking you to think of me. It was already too great an honor to have been one with you in this lifetime. Enjoy your trains, my dear, my beloved. Enjoy that bustling station of yours. I will not I will not meet you before I go, and I shall go without you knowing. I shall cease into non being. But know this, if ever a cool gush of wind or an aching heart should remind you of me, if ever my thought should enter your mind, there, in that moment, my existence will find a second life. There, in your vivid mind, we shall meet once again. For only you and God know that I ever existed. Take care of yourself. It is time, my dear eternal love. The wind is far too strong and violent, and the rain is too unforgiving. Leaves and small branches are flying in the air like loose souls trying to find a way home. I can see a gush of wind, laden with dust that is somehow not wet, coming towards me. It circles around me and rises to cover me in a veil of circular, violent wind. The great tornado rises and takes me with it. Slowly, the station starts to get smaller and more distant. Then the city. I can even spot your abode, my beloved. I rise even more, and all of the city diminishes. And then finally, all signs of civilization extinguish. I enter the dark worlds made of water vapor. A bright yellow light fills my view, and after a loud, thunderous bang, I am transported. I am transported to a place where I do not exist, nor do you. Thank you. That was it. Um, Please let me know what you thought of the story. It was sort of like my first story that I am putting out. Would love to know what you thought.